going to begin now. Have you all got your drinks in hand and your seats? I'll just introduce myself first. I'm Patricia Schonstein. I have known Kathy for over 40 years. It's not working. Let me begin again.
It's working.
I'm Patricia Schonstein. I've known Kathy for over 40 years. And I was just thinking about a distinguishing mark and feature about her. And I realize it's courage. But not ordinary courage, not ordinary bravery. She's the kind of brave person who is courageous in her creativity. And she gets these amazing ideas and carries them through without fault and without hesitation and seemingly without any lack of inner confidence. And this is something I admire very deeply in her. And in fact, I suffer from non-brave, and so I like standing beside her and a kind of osmosis of courage comes through to me. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so on behalf of Catherine de Villiers, who is the founder of the Ingrid Jonker Poetry Forum, I welcome you very warmly to this celebration of Ingrid Jonker, who, though she died tragically and young, injected Afrikaans literature with a singular passion and wise innocence that has been translated into many languages and has sealed her reputation as one of the 20th century's foremost female poets. Ingrid began reaping emotional material from a very young age, configuring that material into perceptive and very moving poetry. As she matured, she instilled political and social elements into her terse and often very poignant poems. Her first collection, Nadi Somer, was compiled in 1946 when she was just 13 years old. This collection brought her into close contact with her first mentor, D.J. Opperman. He recognized her deep talent and was prescient enough to mentor her confidence and her skill, and to encourage her in her bold creativity. Ingrid died on the 19th of July, 1965. A year later, Jacques Coetzee, who was a great beloved of hers, wrote these words: "The death of poets sends a dark tone ringing out all over the world. Of all the children of mankind, poets are the strangest, the most beloved, disturbing, and generally beyond reach. To all times, they are the holy ones. They are not buried with their bodies, but they remain to shake and to confuse us, to awaken the living. Their language is universal, and it is among these that we find Ingrid Jonker." End quote. After her death, Ingrid's rich archive, and it was already rich even though she died so young, an archive which includes notebooks, personal papers, and photographs, was all housed in the former National English Literacy Museum in Grahamstown. It was known as NELM. At a certain point, the archive left that museum and found its way overseas in Europe. Ingrid's daughter, Simone, devoted herself to keeping Ingrid's legacy alive. And when the archive was illegally sold, she came in full force to bring it back. She embarked on a journey of bringing this archive back home to South Africa, where it truly belonged. And after Simone's death, Kathy, and Margarita Stoffberg, who is Simone's daughter, successfully took up that mission. They brought it back, and that was quite a triumphal deed. The complete archive is now housed in Stellenbosch University. And here I quote Miss Ellen Tyre, who is the Senior Director of Stellenbosch University Library and Information Services. Quote, Stellenbosch University is privileged to be the new home of the collection and to be its custodian, as it is important for cultural heritage to be preserved in its country of origin. And many heritage collections over the years sadly have found homes abroad. The university recognizes the value of the collection and the significance of Jonker as a poet. The very well-preserved collection reveals a potential treasure trove, a life reflected on paper. Wow. So I think we should acclaim Kathy.
Oh no.
Yes. And though she's not here, Marguerite, and though she died before seeing the archive return, Simone, for bringing back this priceless work, which now is accessible to students, to other poets, to lecturers. So, well done.
Before I do my first poem, I just want to say as a family we are enormously grateful to Jan Matten from Sasnev, who undertook the awesome task of raising so much money to bring the legacy home. We couldn't have done it without him. He cinched the deal. So thank you to Jan Matten. So tonight we're going to explore a slightly happier side of Ingrid. We're taking Ingrid out of the dark. And I am going to put on my cousin's dressing gown because it's going to look like summer. Hold on.
Need my children to help.
Begin somer. Vir Simon. Ook. Begin somer en die see. 'n oopgebreekte koper. Die lug soos 'n kind se ballon ver bo die water. Onder die sombrele, soos gestreepte lekkergoed, mure van mense, en die gullag van die baai het goue tande. Kind met die geel emmertjie, en die vergete vlegsel, jou mond is sekerlik 'n klokkie, klein tongetjie klepeltjie, jy bespeel die son, daglank, soos 'n ukulele. So Ingrid would have written that poem. The scene that she describes is a scene that she would have seen from Sigurd. Sigurd was the bungalow where Jack and Ace lived, and it looked down over Second Beach. And if you look down on a summer's day, you would see meer van mense. Translations coming. So now we have Little Things Happy, Lara. Dis jy, kom, skat. The first, oh, what happened? The first poem that Laura will read is Ladybird, a herinnering aan my moeder. Thank you, Laura.
Kan jy my hoor? Ladybird, 'n herinnering aan my moeder. Glansoker en 'n lig breek uit die see. In die agterplaas, ergens tussen die wasgoed en 'n boom vol granate, jou lag. En die oggend skielik en klein, soos 'n liewenheersbesie, geval op my hand.
Dis 'n klein piece.
En dan hierdie is uit intieme gesprek. Dis nou 'n paar kort versies. Moenie slaap nie. Moenie slaap nie. Kyk, agter die gordyne begin die dagdans soos 'n pouveer in sy hond. As jy na my roep, as jy na my roep uit jou keel, gaan daar 'n vogtige voetpaadjie oop in 'n rooiebos. Ek weet tog jou mond is 'n nesie vol voeltjies. As jy lag, jou lag is 'n oopgebreekte granaat. Lag weer dat ek kan hoor hoe lag die granate. Toe jy 'n baba was. Toe jy 'n baba was, het jy sekerlik geruik na 'n bokrammetjie en blomme. As jy slaap, is jou voorkop 'n berg en jou slape soos lammers teen die hange. En dan die laaste ene, jou lyf. Jou lyf is swaar van bloed en jou rug is singende gitaar.
Right. Waterval van mos en son.
Waterfall of moss and sun.
Moswaterval, kantelde son. Ek het jou lief.
Moss waterfall, tumbling sun. I love you.
Moswaterval, kantelde son. Harte dif, dif.
Moss waterfall, tumbling sun. Heart, thief, thief.
Moswaterval, kantelde son. Val, val, val.
Moss waterfall, tumbling sun. Fall, fall, fall.
Vinnig, vinnig, vin.
Quickly, quickly, quickly.
In die polletjie, klippie, kringetjies.
In the pool, little pebbles, ripples.
Klater jy my eie gesig.
Do you repeat my own face?
Lara, dis jou.
Is hy aan? Goed.
Klaar daai. Hoekom maak hy so? Klaar dit. Hy klaar my ook. Kan dat projekteer?
Yes.
Okay, gesig van die liefde vir Jack. Jou gesig is die gesig van al die ander, voor jou en na jou, en jou oë kalm, soos 'n blou daraad wat keer op keer aanbreek. Herder van die wolke, bewaker van die wit, wisselende skoonheid, die landskap van jou. Dit gaan nie werk. Wie van dit? It's short enough, ek gaan weer begin. Ja, liefdesgedig mag nie onderbreek word nie. Mense kla dat hy hy werk maar hy so ja, soos ek. Kon julle my goed genoeg hoor? Is daai nou af?
Never happens to me, I promise.
Gesig van die liefde vir Jack. Jou gesig is die gesig van al die ander, voor jou en na jou, en jou oë kalm soos 'n blou daraad wat keer op keer aanbreek. Herder van die wolke, bewaker van die wit, wisselende skoonheid, die landskap van jou verklaarde mond wat ek ontdek het, behou die geheim van 'n glimlag. Soos klein wit dorpies anderkant die berge en jou polse die maat van hul verrukking. Daar is geen sprake van begin. Daar is geen sprake van besitting. Daar is geen sprake van die dood. Gesig wat ek liefhet. Gesig van die liefde.
The face of love. Your face is the face of all the others before you and after you, and your eyes calm as a blue dawn, breaking time on time. Herdsman of the clouds, sentinel of white iridescent beauty, the landscape of your confessed mouth that I have explored keeps the secret of a smile, like small white villages beyond the mountains, and your heart beats the measure of their ecstasy. There is no question of beginning. There is no question of position. There is no question of death. Face of my beloved, the face of love. This one is titled Plant a Tree for Me, Andre. Plant an acorn tree for me, that I might know my worth, and squirrels come and bury their acorns here. Give me a dog with paws I may kiss at night when you sleep, angry and well. Don't let them cut my oak tree down, uproot, defame, or splinter him. Give him a heaven with blue skies. Build me an open house so that my windows can discover the day, green or gold or grey, but well devised. Let my dog love me. Grant that I can feed him when you sleep beyond the stars and mirrors of my forehead.
Dis 'n gedig vir Andre Brink. Jou naam het 'n kinderkarretjie. Jou naam het 'n kinderkarretjie. Jou naam het 'n sielsagtige glimlag en 'n skielike poenetjie. Wat sal die afslaer sê van jou naam? Jou naam wat ek roep deur die duisternis, wees gewaarsku. Want jy word verkoop, geblinddoek aan die burgery, soos 'n ou perd. So Catherine het nog gevra ek moet die rooi jas aantrek vir die volgende gedig. Is dit jou jas?
Is die jas is my daughter's.
Dis 'n gedig vir haar eie dogter, vir Simone. Kabouterliefde. Ek moet actually 'n rooi pet aan nie. Nee, rooi jas. Kabouterliefde. Die kabouter met die rooi pet. Die kabouter met die geel hemp aan, het sy hart gisteraan vir my gegee en sy hemp vir die maan. Die hoepelronde blou lug het kadops op die grond geval. Hy het dit blinkblou in sy hand gerol. Toe speel ons daar weer. Die sterre met al wit ligte het geknipoog toe ons lag. Al rondom ons in 'n kring getrek soos 'n laar in die nag. Die aandbloem het sy trompet geblaas in die warrelwind kring. Die kalkoentjies met hul rooi mondjies het die springkaan-wals gesing. Die maan met sy geel lyfie het gaan plat lê op sy rug. Hy het gaan slaap by die gousblomme met sy boepens in die blou. Die kabouter met die rooi hart het dit self vir my gesê. Hy het die aardbol oor sy kop gegooi. O, dis hier waar die liefde lê.
Gnome love. The gnome with the red cap, the gnome with the yellow shirt on, gave his heart to me last night and his shirt to the moon. The hula hoop blue sky fell kadump to the ground. In his hands he polished it bright blue and with it we played ball. The stars with their white lights winked when we laughed They drew around us in a circle like a lager in the night. The night flower with his trumpet, blown in the wind, wild whirlwind. The turkey wattle with their little red mouths sang the grasshopper waltz. The moon with his little yellow body lay flat on his back. He went to sleep among the daisies with his belly in the sky. The gnome with the red heart told me himself. He threw the earth ball over his head and said, "Oh, it is here where love lives." Boop sounds better than belly. And I got the last line wrong. Oh, it is here where love lies, not love lives. Thank you.
How's this mic?
How's the mic now? Do I need to do something to the treble or are we fine? Okay, so Ingrid, having arrived, you know, the Jonkers always did something on a dark and stormy night. It was par for the course. If it happened on a dark and stormy night. I remember when I was probably about 5 or 6 years old, my mother bundled us into a horrifyingly small aircraft, and we had to fly to Joburg, my brother, my mother, and myself, to fetch Ingrid because she needed rescuing, said my mum. My mum was the matriarch of the Jonker family, formidable matriarch of the Jonker family. So when Ingrid met Jack, it was a very academic relationship. He mentored Ingrid a lot with poetry, and I mean, he was 20 years older than Ingrid, actually. But you'll see I've done a pinboard of photographs. It brings home who's where, how inspiration presents, and sort of gives you an idea of, I mean, Marjorie was always saying quite loudly that Andre was a better match because he was closer in age, but we all know that didn't turn out too well. Okay, so the Zestigers were a group of artists and poets who fought for human rights. Not always well received, especially by my grandfather, who was torn between the Gestichte Nasionale Partij and the Progressive Federal Party, and also torn between, he was the director of the censorship board, and we had Ingrid doing some pretty graphic poems, you know. So there was a lot of conflict, and I think I would like to be sensitive to that, because not everybody's heart is black. It's more often just hurt. So the Kind, I was very much in two minds as to whether to read the Kind. I mean, it's Ingrid's most famous poem, as you must probably all know. And it is a poem that was written in response to the 21st of March 1960 Sharpeville massacre. And it was an uprising of the nation, if you happen to be black, against the carrying of a pass. And I had a lot of internal turmoil about reading the poem because of what's just happened in our country. And here we all fought for freedom, and the people that we're freed are now oppressing others. So it kind of hurts a little bit. But I decided to read the poem anyway. The interesting fact is that Ingrid was actually apolitical. She wrote this poem with a mother's heart, not the heart of a politician. She wrote it with the heart of a South African. And Nelson Mandela read this poem when he was inaugurated as president. I'm sure you all know that. My mother was furious that he read it in English and not in Afrikaans, but yeah, my mother was often furious. But so Nelson Mandela, the words that he said was, she was both a poet and a South African. Confronted by death, she asserted the beauty of life. And the child is the poem is the child who was shot dead by the soldiers in Nyanga. So I'm going to read that poem, also because I think we're moving fairly quickly and we want to give you words. Boom, boom, boom. The child is not dead. The child lifts his fists against his mother, who shouts, Africa, shouts the breath of freedom and of the veldt, in the locations of the cordoned off heart. The child lifts his fists against his father in the march of the generations, who shout, Africa, shout the breath of righteousness and blood, in the streets of his embattled pride. The child is not dead, not at Langa nor Nyanga, nor at Orlando, nor at Sharpeville, nor at the police station at Philippi, where he lies with a bullet through his brain. The child is the dark shadow of the soldiers, on guard with rifles, Saracens and batons. The child is present at all assemblies and law-givings. The child peers through the windows of houses and into the hearts of mothers. This child, who just wanted to play in the sun at Nyanga, is everywhere. The child, grown into a man, treks through all Africa. The child, grown into a giant, journeys through the whole world without a pass. So now the heart begins to break a little. We have to go there because it is as it is. The heart begins to break. Lara Kirsten. Wat het jy nodig?
Bitterbesie dagbreek. Bitterbesie dagbreek, bitterbesie son. 'n Spieël het gebreek tussen my en hom. Soek ek na die groot pad om daar langs te draf, oral draai die paadjies van sy woorde af. Dennebos herinnering, Dennebos vergeet. Het ek ook verdwaal, trap ek in my leed. Papegaai bond echo, kirang, kirang my, tot ek bedroe weer die kogel kry. Echo is geen antwoord hy al om. Bitterbesie dagbreek, bitterbesie son. Baie mooi.
Ja, settelen, samen.
Dankie.
Gewoon in de So if you ever saw an old poetry book, here's one. My mother gave it to me in 1977, inscribed, the Seabody left a lair for me. So I just have to find it. If I remember correctly, it's page 75. I could be wrong. Oh my goodness.
Dickend. Die kind is nie dood nie. Die kind lig sy vuiste teen sy moeder, wat Afrika skreeu die geur en vryheid en heide, in die lokasies van die omsingende hart. Die kind lig sy vuiste teen sy vader, in die optog van die generasies, wat Afrika skreeu die geur en geregtigheid en bloed. In die strate van sy gewapende trots. Die kind is nie dood nie, nog by Lange, nog by Nyange, nog by Orlando, nog by Sharpeville, nog by die polisiestasie in Philippi, waar hy lê met 'n koel deur sy kop. Die kind is die skaduwee van die soldate, opwag met gewere, sarrasine en knippels. Die kind is teenwoordig by alle vergaderings en wetgewings. Die kind loer deur die vensters van huise en in die harte van moeders. Die kind wat net wou speel in die son by Nyanga is oral. Die kind wat 'n man geword het, trek die ganse Afrika. Die kind wat 'n reus geword het, reis die hele wêreld sonder 'n pas. I was going to do a translation of Bitterberry Dagbreek, so I'm just going to revert to that quickly. Bitterberry daybreak, Bitterberry sun. A mirror has broken between me and him. I try to find the highway, to run along beside it. Everywhere little paths turn away from his words. Pine forest remember, pine forest forget. Even though I lose my way, I step in my regret. Parrot, bright echo, teases me until I turn heartbroken to retrieve the mocking song. Echo is no answer. He answers everywhere. Bitterberry daybreak, Bitterberry sun.
This is for Jack. And
titled When You Write Again. When you write again in your diary, remember to see the golden leaf in the summer sun, or perhaps the blue rock orchid on one of our absent wanderings on Table Mountain. I, who have mingled my blood with the blood of the sun in the evening in Lisbon, have carried you with me like a mirror. And I have written you on the open page of my desolation, your nameless word. When you write again in your diary, remember to see in my eyes the sun that I now cover for always with black butterflies.
I'll just do two
Tomorrow Donkerman. There's a story behind the reason that I know this poem is because after Ingrid died, my mom became quite ill actually. She was in hospital for months on end, and we were two little children alone. I mean, I was 7 years old, my brother was 8 years old, and we were alone, basically. And Jack kind of came to the rescue. Jack stepped forward. He brought us food. He took us to his house, and we had 3 meals a day, you know, and we had to eat our food before pudding and all of this. And then on a Sunday morning, I mean, we lived to go to the beach. That was it. We were ocean animals. On a Sunday, Simone and I would jump into bed with Jack. He was very hairy, and we used to pull his hairs with our toes like prehensile animals. And but this one day of the week, we were not allowed to get up and go for a swim until we had recited a stanza of a poem. Jack said, "One day you'll be called to do it," and it was Tomorrow Donkerman for Simone. Op die groen voetpad van die horizon ver om die aarde skat, stap 'n ou man wat die oop maan dra in sy hare, nagtegal in sy hart, jasmijn gepluk vir sy oopknoopsgat en 'n rug gebuk aan sy jare. Wat maak hy, mami? Hy roep die krikkies, hy roep die swart stilte wat sing soos bessies my hart, en die sterre wat klop tok tok, liefling, soos die klein tok tokkies in hul fyn verkring. Wat is sy naam, mami? Sy naam is slaap. Meneer vergeet uit die land van vaak. Sy naam is Tomorrow, hy heet my lam. Tomorrow, die donker man. This is a very sad poem. I struggle to get through it sometimes. Always makes me cry. But I'm going to try. As Pat says, no emotions. This is going to stand here. She's still taller than me. You're just going to say the words, yeah? Much of what we've done this evening has been fairly impromptu, but with a reason, in that it has a certain rawness, a certain freshness when it's not too rehearsed. So the poem I'm going to read now, Jacques is going to sing it. We have not rehearsed this. Bear with us. And if you want to help us by singing along, you are so very welcome. Korreltjie sand. Korreltjie sand. Klippie, gerol in my hand. Klippie, gesteek in my sak. Woordkorreltjie, klein en plat. Sonnetjie groot in die blauw. Ek maak net 'n oogie van jou. Blank in my korreltjie klippie. Dit is genoeg vir 'n rukkie. Kindjie wat skreeu uit die skoot. Niks in die wêreld is groot. Stilletjies lag nou en praat. Stilte in 'n doodloopstraat. Wêreldjie rond en aardblou. Korreltjie maak ek van jou. Huisie met 'n deur en 2 skreefies. Tuintjie met blou madeliefjes. Pijltjie geveer en verskiet. Liefde vir klein en teniet. Timmerman, bou en 'n kus. Ek maak my gereed. Vir die niks. Korreltjie klein is my woord. Korreltjie niks is my dood.
So, this is a poem written by Simone for her mother. Can you all hear me at the back? Yes. Okay. I'll read it in English, maybe, and then in Afrikaans. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Write again for my mother Ingrid. Write me a poem again, Mama. I want to hear your verses go through my thoughts. Your father and your brother and your sister Anna, both Jack and Jan are long dead. Like a cutting inside your leaves, you remain between little grains of sand. Even though your spring drowned in his hands, a flame surrounds the love like a ribbon. Write me a poem again, my little fairy. The child wants to know how it goes with her mother. Is it beautiful? Are the little bokmakiris with you there in your little grain of sand world? Skryf weer vir my ma Ingrid. Skryf vir my weer 'n gedig, mamma. Ek wil jou verse deur my gedagtes hoor. Jou pa en jou broer en jou suster Anna, Huis, Jack en Jan is lankal dood. Soos 'n stiggie in jou blare bly jy tussen korreltjies sand. Al het jou lente verdrink in sy hande, 'n vlam omring die liefde soos 'n band. Skryf vir my weer 'n gedig, my fietjie. Die kind wil weet hoe dit met haar mamma vaar. Is dit mooi? Is die kokkewikkies by jou? En jou korreltjie wêreld daar? And then I'm going to read a poem that Jack wrote, dedicated to Ingrid after she died. If You Come Back, by Jack Coetzee for Ingrid. I just see an amazing thing. I was actually wrong. This poem is dated 1964 when she was still alive. So I'll have to...
It's a mistake.
It's a mistake, okay. Life is full of them. If you come back for Ingrid. If you come back ever. If you come in the smoky Decembers, sweeping out of estranged eyes all the strange magnetic stars one by one, and drop them, faint and flawed diamonds, picked from the waxed velvet of the sorting sky. If you come again, wearing the sun like a burning glass, what shall I say? If you are like a child again, with a long, thin body and ice skin, body of the small white tulips, body of magnesium and hidden fire. If you come in the sea sound, the sirens and the minute gun on the hill, if you stop counting, what shall I say? If the fallen rocks fuse and no oceans lie prone to the sliding keels, Atlantic empty as a sigh, and the cathedrals stand hollow of dreams and prayer, and you come wondering at the mystery of virgins and canals, and the antelope raising wet eyes into the mouth of the night. If your heart beats again, sense of the arum lily, sense of the crimson and blueness, camellia of words, the hours clashing together like ice on the autumn river, flowers without roots, flowers of air. If you should come seeking by its scent in the grass, the secret Baba Yankee, what should I say? The ribbed sand dunes shrill plaintively under my tread. If I dance like the tall, shy rain cloud, have I not captured the rain? Desert of the stone rose, desert of ash flowers, if you should count time, ever again by the clock of the cross, scent on petals, blood again in the corn, if you walk gold and fierce blue over the endless spring, it is because of the words, because I have gone silent and distant, hearing the seed of my words.
So that is the final poem of our formal reading tonight. Just want to say that we're going to eat now, and then we'll have an open mic session. And is there anybody here who would like to participate in open mic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay. Okay, I'm going to leave it up to Dorian to just manage that whole scenario. I just want to say thank you to a few people. To, first of all, my children, Dylan and Bethany, who escaped when I started with Korokisant. And I want to say thank you to Patch and Don, Patricia, and Don, whom I've known since the 70s, who are people you can fashion your life on. If you want to be a good person and you don't know how, have a look at them. Okay. So, and to my daughter Bethany and to my son Dylan, they hold me together. They're the glue of everything. I want to say thank you to Jacques for always being present at the Ingrid Jonker Poetry Forum, for Lara, who just does such exquisite readings. You must attend some of Lara's concert pianist sessions. They're absolutely fabulous. You think concert piano is staged? Well, then you haven't heard Lara. So, my last, and have I said thank you to everybody? Dorian, thank you for always being the person who cracks the whip and keeps things under control and being present. Thank you to you all who have come tonight to share in this evening. We're hoping to have more wonderful poetry evenings. But my last and most important thank you goes to Lisette. Yes. Of this Candy restaurant, who, without her, of course, none of this would be happening. So thank you, Lisette. Lisette, the flowers are for you.
Take